The full 8 years Obama was president, he ran around orchestrating the New World Order right under our noses.
U.S. Senator Barack Obama flew into Germany Thursday, promising change in transatlantic relations, just as he preaches change at home. In Berlin, he called for a true partnership to bring stability and an end to war.
They require sharing the burdens of development and diplomacy, of peace and progress.
Nothing less than a new world order. This is the pledge of the world's most powerful leaders, representing 90% of the global economy. Thursday's G20 summit, they say, has changed the rules of the game.
Today, the largest countries in the world have agreed a global plan for recovery and reform.
And the president outlined his vision of a new world order in which the US would participate fully. One rooted on 4 basic principles:
Non-proliferation and disarmament, the promotion of peace and security, the preservation of our planet, and a global economy that advances opportunity for all people. The time has come for the world to move in a new direction. We must embrace a new era of engagement based on mutual interest and mutual respect, and our work must begin now.
What the White House is trying to do here is really refocus the country's attention back to the economy. But when we think of this speech, it really is going to be more thematic than substantive. The president's going to be talking about middle-class fairness. You'll likely hear this line, that the American economy works best when it grows from the middle.
Just rhyming and singing songs. Grab the llama before I give them the honor to see us on. I ain't deceived by the lies they fed all the public, exposing devil's hands. We cutting heads off of puppets. Yes, we living in the police state, but we see it. That's why we the ones.
This summit is going to be special. It's an unprecedented gathering of heads of state and government. Civil society, academia, the private sector. It's the first time where we have over 150 confirmations from heads of state and heads of government. Even the Pope is going to be here.
The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are 17 targets we must meet by 2030 to ensure decent lives for all on a healthy planet. Right now, it's expected we will fail. One reason for that is the growth in our global population. The more people there are, the more we take from nature. There is enough of everything for everyone on our planet now, if the richest nations take less and share more. But with our population expected to reach almost 11 billion by the end of the century, abolishing poverty and hunger, and providing food, safe water and energy for all without destroying more of the living world will become impossible. Just as all these problems are linked, so are the solutions. When women and communities are empowered and given the best education, they usually choose smaller families. That helps people escape poverty while taking pressure off resources and the environment. Good health care and economic security free people from the need to have many children to support them. And access to modern contraception means that they can choose to have fewer. In rich countries where our impact is so excessively high, we can make a critical difference by having smaller families alongside reducing our runaway consumption. Achieving a sustainable global population matters. If we do, we can all have the dignity, security, and well-being envisioned by the Sustainable Development Goals. We must not fail. Let's invest in and celebrate solutions that empower people to choose smaller families, make their lives better, and protect our only home.
We can only achieve all of this by upholding human rights, fostering peace and security, ensuring equal access to justice and protection from exploitation for all. We also need to build strong partnerships in our cities, within our countries and regions, and globally through international cooperation. Migration is everyone's business. Together, we can ensure that we leave no one behind.
We cannot leave people behind. Every nation, all of our nations must invest in the education and health and skills of our women and girls. And I have to say, I do not have patience for the excuse of, well, we have our own ways of doing things. I understand, as His Holiness Pope Francis has rightly implored the world, this is a moral calling. In just 2 months, the world has an opportunity to unite around a strong global agreement.
America is governed by Americans. We reject the ideology of globalism, and we embrace the doctrine of patriotism. The United States will provide no support and recognition to the International Criminal Court. As far as America is concerned, the ICC has no jurisdiction, no legitimacy, and no authority. Around the world, responsible nations must defend against threats to sovereignty, not just from global governments, but also from other new forms of coercion and domination.
Once upon a time, there was a bat. Now, some dude, let's call him Chinese Bruce Wayne, may have eaten that bat and released onto humanity a terrible plague. I don't know to this day why he did it. All I can say with any certainty is the events that followed were unprecedented. Handsome, wise idiot Prince Trump, he knew the truth. The truth was in the graphs. Only countries that had tested had the virus. So if we all just stopped testing, we would defeat it once and for all. So I'm assuming if you are alive now, that is what happened, my good robot butler friends. But as 2020 draws to a close, there are still many questions. If you're alive and listening to this, I'm assuming that what's secure. Stop testing. Either way, I guess humanity lived happily ever after. I hope 2021 was better.
My advice to President Trump is if you want, at this late stage in the game, to be remembered as somebody who put country first, it's time for you to do the same thing.
In your view, it is time for him to concede?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think it was time for him to concede probably the day after the election. The president doesn't like to lose and never admits loss.